just joining us, this particular storm, I'll be honest, the rotation just doesn't look all that strong. I mean, it's there, it is present, and previously we've had confirmed tornadoes on the ground, but at this point, it just kind of looks like it's a little bit on the weaker side. So no confirmation if it's on the ground or not. We look at it from velocity scan, and yeah, I mean, there's some rotation right there. So the storm itself is out of Arkansas at this current moment. It is near the Huffins area, and I hope I'm saying this right. This is moving towards 3 states, uh, Ravana and Smyrna. Guys, I hope I'm saying these names right. Bright Star as well. So these are areas that are impacted by this storm. So again, anyone in the Smyrna area, Bright Star, Black Diamond, this is an early heads up for Black Diamond. We have an active tornado warning in effect. So if you're just joining us here and are wondering what's going on, we've been tracking this storm for a while now, but it is now, there was previous talk about them going ahead and canceling this tornado warning, but they didn't do that. They ended up reissuing it because of rotation strengthened again. So the National Weather Service has issued, now this is radar indicated, a tornado warning. This is going to be in effect for Lafayette and Miller County in Arkansas. And so we're going to continue to watch this storm very closely. And again, this is kind of the main storm we're watching across Arkansas. We're live on all of our platforms covering this storm. Again, just want to reiterate the fact that this rotation is present. It's not as strong as what it was previously, but it is still there. So anyone in the Huffins area, this is a heads up to southern Arkansas, South Arkansas. Just be aware of this particular storm. Now, here is Interstate 49 right here. This is moving towards Fuke. I hope I'm saying that right, guys. If I'm not, I apologize. And then we've got Garland. Now, the good news is for Texarkana, this looks like it's going to the south of Texarkana and going to go towards the east of Texarkana, at least the current track right now. So you see that rotation is definitely present right there. And so we're going to continue to track this. We've been watching this storm. It tightened up. It actually dropped a tornado. They went ahead and issued a PDS tornado watch, or tornado warning, I should say. And then they've come back and they've reissued a new warning. Now, this warning is radar indicated. So again, no confirmation if it's on the ground or not. But we are live right now bringing you this tornado coverage. So this is going to be in southern Arkansas. And again, this is going to be impacting mainly these 2 counties in southern Arkansas. This is in effect for Lafayette and Miller County. So if you know anybody in these areas, they need to be taking their tornado precautions immediately. So they went ahead and just took away that PDS tornado warning. So now at this point, it's just the radar indicated rotation. And again, the rotation just doesn't look all that strong. I mean, it's there. It is there, but it's not all that strong. And so that's good news for anybody that's in this particular storm. We're watching things very closely, and we're going to continue to watch this. And so, again, we've got an active tornado warning. So we're continuing to watch things very closely. This is really the only concerning storm that we're watching at this current moment. Everything else is not severe, below severe limits, mainly just typical thunderstorms. But this is that one isolated cell we were worried about. It was these cells that if they became isolated, we were concerned that they would have the chance of rotating and becoming tornado warned. And that's exactly what we're seeing here. And matter of fact, this one, again, had a PDS tornado warning. It was a dangerous situation. Now, it has the rotation kind of weakened, and the National Weather Service was like, well, we're going to cancel it. But then they turned around because the rotation started strengthening again. They went ahead and continued the tornado warning and extended it to now include Arkansas. So Arkansas is impacted by this tornado warned storm. We're live here for the Arkansas Weather Network. Let's get some ideas of where this is going to be impacting areas. Again, this looks messy in terms of the rotation. So that is good news, but it still could be dropping a tornado at any time. So this tornado is right over Huffins, okay? This particular storm, the area of rotation, is not even in Arkansas yet. It is in Texas, but it is moving towards Arkansas, and it will be there very, very quickly. So we're kind of getting a track of this particular storm here, and it's moving very slow, guys, moving very slow. So you can see Smyrna, 4:08 a.m., Hammonds, 4:17, Bright Star, 4:30. So those areas, and you can see some other towns here as well that's going to be impacted. These are the areas that are in this particular polygon who's going to be impacted by this particular storm. Now, there's other people asking. There's other people asking about locations and stuff. Right now, I'm watching other places across the state of Arkansas, and I'm telling you, this is the most concerning storm we have on the board. Everything else is below severe limits. Nothing's concerning except for this storm right here. So, wondering if it's cycling. It's a possibility. Yes, it is a possibility. I will say there is, yeah, see, it's still right there. You can see it, very obvious. So again, the area of rotation is going to be right in here. You can see that, and again, it's broad, but it's something we've got to watch. You can see those winds going towards the radar site and winds going away. And so that's why we're going to continue to watch this storm. Again, it is tornado warned. So again, zooming out overview, you could see that the strongest storm and the most concerning storm is definitely over here towards the Texarkana area. So we're staying on this storm. Again, no confirmation if it's on the ground or not. I'm communicating with the National Weather Service, and they're not saying anything about the storm. So that's good news, because if it was on the ground, they would be letting us know of that. And at this time, I'm not seeing that. So that's great news. But for anybody that anyone in this area, we're continuing to watch this storm. Okay, newest scan coming in. Guys, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not. I mean, there's a little bit of rotation still there, but it looks like it's on the weakening trend. It's really hard for me to pull this out right now. So that's great news. Let me continue to look at it from another radar site here on my phone. But I'll just be honest with you. To me, it looks like this rotation's weak. So I don't know. I'm not sure what the National Weather Service is going to do at this time, but at this point, it to me looks like it's getting weaker. So again, let me give you a heads up of some towns impacted by this storm. So anybody in the Atlanta area, Bloomberg, these areas need to be taking their tornado precautions immediately. If we zoom in, here's some more locations like Bright Star, Black Diamond, Fort Lynn, Doddridge, these areas, Boggy, Rocky Mound, Fairland, Bog. Again, these areas need to be taking their tornado precautions. I'm just kind of giving you some cities that are impacted here. We've got Boyd, Pleasant Hill. Technically, Pleasant Hill's not in the warning polygon, but okay, here's a new updated radar scan. And it does look like it might be tightening up again just a little bit there. Yeah, that is pretty strong rotation now. Again, it's to the north of Huffins. So again, it's not in Arkansas yet, but it's something we're going to continue to watch very closely here. Because this is going to be impacting Arkansas pretty quick. This is going to be passing Highway 59, and then it's going to be moving into Arkansas. Here's the line right here. So area of rotation, just kind of highlighting here, because we've got other cities here. We can take a look. It's right here is the area of rotation. That is what prompted the warning. And I will tell you, this rotation is fairly strong, and it's something we're going to continue to watch here. But at moments it's strengthened and at moments it's weakened and things. So I don't want you to let your guard down here by any means with this storm. But again, I do want to bring some kind of ease the mind for the Texarkana people. This is going to the south and southeast of you. This is not going to be impacting Texarkana. So if you are worried about this storm, you can kind of be relieved because this storm will not be impacted by it. So again, still got that rotation. It's present. Anyone in these areas need to be taking their tornado precautions. If we look a little bit, zooming in here, again, it's just to the north of Huffins. Again, this particular storm is not even in Arkansas yet, but it is getting closer. So Bloomberg, just to the south of Bloomberg, that's where the area of rotation is. It's fixing to cross into Arkansas here momentarily. People asking about other areas northwest Arkansas. Guys, want to reiterate, we have round 2 heading our way. There's one severe thunderstorm warning last check out at Oklahoma. That's going to be moving east. I think the severe weather threat is lower with round 2, but there is still a threat, and that's where we're going to be here to keep you updated with the latest information. So seeing a lot of questions about other areas and things. We're watching multiple areas right now. We're really focused on this one tornado warned storm right now because this is the worst storm we have on radar at this time. So again, want to reiterate, this is where the rotation is. Newest scan looking more weaker again. this storm, it tenses up, but weekend storm is, and I think a lot of that may have to do with the fact that, well, we did have a cap in place, don't have a cap anymore, so that's a little bit concerning. Into the fact that we don't have a cap and we've got plenty of instability moving through the area now. So there is more instability moving in, and that's the reason why they went ahead and issued that tornado watch for the majority of the state, as well as continuing to see these storms continue to be strong. So let's see what the National Weather Service does. That's still enough rotation, though, to continue with the tornado warning. Again, it's right here, and I drew that way too wide. If you're specifically getting a pinpoint, it's going to be right in here where that rotation is. You see where the reds and the greens are meeting? That right there is what we call a couplet, and that's rotation. And that's why they issue those tornado warnings, because that's rotation, which does form tornadoes. So again, these are areas that are impacted by this storm. Yep. So a lot of people jumping on here. So again, all right, looking at this newest radar scan coming in, that just looks very messy. Very, very, very messy. Yeah, I don't really see much at all. So two things, it's either cycling and it's going to re-strengthen again, or this thing's falling apart right now. This thing looks like it's weakening pretty fast. Let's see what the National Weather Service does. They're not saying anything right now about it, but yeah, to me, this storm just kind of looks like it's weakening. Yeah, it's really hard to pinpoint any kind of rotation with this. I mean, there's still a little bit, and it's going to be right in here. So here's Rodessa, right here, Rodessa. Okay, so and then here's Highway 59 right here. So it's between Atlanta and Rodessa is where this particular storm is. That's the area of rotation that is in the area. So yeah, it's just that very leading edge right there where there's broad rotation. But guys, I'm going to be honest with you. You know, again, it might be cycling, but we're watching this. We're watching this very closely. Let's go back. Yeah, I want to just stay on this storm for a while. I'm going to do an overview again real quick, kind of look across the state of Arkansas, but really this is the strongest storm that we're tracking right now. So, yeah, I'm just not seeing real strong rotation with this. So that's great news. I'm just not seeing. Well, there it is a little bit. Right there, just to the south of Smyrna. You see that little area right there? That's rotation. That's what we call a couplet. Okay, so where this particular storm would be, is there a confirmed tornado on the ground? Let me check, but I'm not. Let me double check, but I don't believe that's on the ground unless there's spotters reporting it. No. No, it's still saying radar indicated. No, I'm not seeing any indications that make me think this is on the ground right now. I don't see any signs of that. But this is the area of rotation right here. So it's a very small couplet, but it is present. So if we zoom in here, so here's Smyrna, right here, okay? And again, newest scan, definitely weakening again. Yeah, so if there's going to be a tornado, it's going to be right in here, near Smyrna, right there, near Hammonds. Okay, here's what we got. National Weather Service is advising that they are going to go ahead and cancel this. They said that the circulation south of the tornado warning storm is going to be. Okay, actually, they're getting ready. Okay, a little bit of changes here, guys. So what they're going to do is they're fixing to issue a severe thunderstorm warning, and it's going to be for this storm, and it's going to have a tornado possible tag. It will not have a tornado warned storm, but they are continuing this tornado warned storm here. So we're fixing to have two warnings. We're going to have one tornado warning here, and we're going to have a severe thunderstorm warning right here for this storm. Yep, there it is. So we actually got two warnings now on the board. I'll clear that so you can see. So this does have a tornado possible tag because of that rotation right there, which is weak and broad, but it's there. You're also seeing rotation on this storm too, but again, guys, I just don't see much of it. But that's the good news. So let's continue to stay on this. And we're going to watch this very closely here. Yeah, it's trying. It's trying its best to rotate, but it just looks very weak to me. Very weak, very broad. So we got people popping in from all over the Arkansas. Okay, here's the thing, guys. We're tracking an active tornado warning that is in effect for southern Arkansas. But I will tell you, round 2 is developing in Oklahoma. Over the next several hours, it's going to be moving this way. I think closer to sunrise, though, we're going to be impacted by this. All right, so if you're just joining us and you're wondering what's going on, well, we've got one tornado warning that is in effect for southern Arkansas. You see that rotation right there? And we've also got a severe thunderstorm warning, tornado possible tag right there with that storm. So again, not enough rotation to issue a tornado warning at this time, but let's see what we got here. Okay. Tornado sirens going off. Yeah. Looks like we've got a new tornado warning that is in effect for, okay, so they went ahead and issued for the second area of rotation. Okay, so if you're just joining us here, we've now got actually 2 tornado warnings in effect here. All right, so we've got one, and again, I want to show you where these areas of rotation is. Really, honestly, both of these guys are not even in Arkansas yet, but they sure are really close. The warnings do include Arkansas, though. So here's an area of rotation right here. And then there's another area of rotation right here. So that's 2 tornado warnings that are in effect at this current moment. So again, this is for southern Arkansas. So again, this area of rotation is not in Arkansas at this time, and this area of rotation is not in Arkansas. I do think that the better rotation is the southern storm versus this one. This one looks really messy to me and less defined in terms of rotation. But again, if you're wondering the areas that are going to be impacted by this, we've got Smyrna over towards Hammonds, Bloomberg, Bright Star. These areas need to be taking their tornado precautions. But not only that, we've got that second tornado warning that is in effect. And this is going to include the area of like Rainbow, Walton, Sandra, 3 states, Cap City, Redessa. So again, if I said any of these towns and you live in these towns, you need to be taking your tornado precautions immediately. Got somebody asking about Ohio. We do not cover Ohio. We are strictly just Arkansas. But there's plenty of sources out there that do. So again, we've got 2 tornado warnings on the board. We've got no confirmation if these are on the ground or not. So that's great news right now. But this is in southern Arkansas. We're going to stay on these storms. We're going to watch these very closely. I'm fixing to have James Bryant joining me here in just a second, meteorologist James Bryant. And so he's going to continue to help track these storms. But again, just want to reiterate the fact we've got 2 tornado warnings that is in effect. Now, there's a big event happening in Texarkana. I know there's a lot of concern and fear for people in Texarkana. I can assure you, these storms, at least the way they're tracking right now, this is going to go to the southeast of Texarkana. It's not going to impact Texarkana. So that's good news. So again, zooming in, 2 areas of rotation. Both of these areas of rotation are not even in Arkansas, but we're starting to move that way, though. It's getting closer to Arkansas pretty quick. It's right near the Arkansas-Texas border as we speak, just to the south of Bloomberg. It's really hard to pick out any rotation with this, guys. That's how like, it's just messy. That's what it is. So south of Bloomberg, messy, not seeing much rotation with this. And then as we look towards the south here, still, that looks broad to me too. Both of these look very broad, but at times they tighten up, and that's the reason for the tornado warning. So we've got 2 tornado warnings in effect, 1 severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado possible, but they went ahead and issued the severe thunderstorm warning, tornado possible, and then they went ahead and just reissued a tornado warning right away after it. So, which tells me that they issued that severe thunderstorm warning, tornado possible, then the rotation really tightened up, and then at that point, we had 2 tornado warnings that was in effect. So, we're continuing to watch these very closely here, and we're going to continue to stay on these storms. Again, meteorologist James Bryant's going to be joining me here shortly. And we've got a lot to talk about here. And I know we've got a lot of comments coming in here. Geez, I hate storms. I completely understand. A lot of people asking about Leslie, Northwest Arkansas. I will tell you guys, looking at an overview here, I don't see anything concerning across Arkansas right now. The only thing that concerns me is strictly this tornado warning storm in South Arkansas. There is more thunderstorms developing ahead of this cold front, and we're seeing a lot of thunderstorms getting their act together, but they're just strong thunderstorms. They're not severe. We're not seeing any severe thunderstorm warnings or anything like that. So that's good news. Now, let's get back onto this here. So again, the southern storm looks like it's got the strongest rotation to me. It's the more well-defined. Both of these look broad, but you see it's this area right here that is going to be to the west of Redessa. So here's Redessa, which again, this is not in Arkansas, but this is moving towards Arkansas. And again, there is rotation up here to the north. But I'll be honest, it's extremely messy, guys. Just to the south of Bloomberg, it is hard for me to see any rotation right there or pick that out. And we can see that reflected. If we go ahead and change and look at the Shreveport, go to our shear detector, there's a little bit there, but the better rotation and the strongest is definitely the southern storm, which I wonder if this might be taking some of that energy of the northern storm and making the southern storm stronger and the northern storm weaker. That's to me what it looks like, at least right now. So we're continuing to track this. Again, we've got 2 active tornado warnings that is in effect right now. Velocity scan just looks messy on the top storm. The second storm looks more well-defined, and this is heading towards Rodessa. Also, some more locations impacted like Black Diamond, Bright Star, Doddridge, Fort Lynn. Technically, you're not in that polygon, but you need to be keeping an eye on this. Ravenna, 3 states, Cap City, Sandra, Rodessa, North Rodessa. Yeah, right there. Zooming in here, you're seeing a really good picture of where this rotation is. It's just to the north of Walton. So just to the north of Walton is where we're seeing this rotation, and it's moving towards the Sandra area. Here's Sandra. Here's Cap City. These areas need to be taking their tornado precautions immediately. Anyone in these areas should be taking their tornado precautions. James, I hear you. What's up?
Good morning.
Good morning. Let me bring you on here. There we go. All right.
Check.
I got you live now.
All right. Good morning, Blaze.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
I got you.
You got your coffee. You're ready to go.
Yeah, man. All right. So it looks like things are just getting started.
They are. You jumped on at the right time. So, but yeah, we've got 2 tornado warnings in effect for southern Arkansas. James, looking at this overall, there was a confirmed tornado earlier in Texas, but would you agree that the rotation to the southern storm is a lot stronger than the first storm, like that northern
Yeah, it
storm?
certainly is. It certainly is. Have these circulations been holding together tonight?
This
Gosh,
one
you'll have to
has.
excuse me.
This one has. But honestly, we had a confirmed tornado, and then the National Weather Service was like, it's weakening, so they're like, we're going to go ahead and cancel it. They ended up getting ready to cancel it, then it strengthened. So
See, that last scan looked a little bit better.
yeah, right there. So again, anybody in the Rodessa area needs to be taking their tornado precautions. I hope I'm saying that name right. Um, again, I've been trying to reiterate to the people like this warning is not even in Arkansas yet. Like
Here,
the
let me drive for
rotation
a
itself.
second.
Yeah, go for it.
I want to put, oh, excuse me. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a storm track on this because we're moving northeast at 40 miles per hour. So that's going to take it up into southeast Miller County and then into Lafayette County. And so there you have it. Doddridge 425. And if it holds together, this part of the storm will make it to Fuke at about 440. So 40-mile-per-hour storm. I say we got about, at least 5 to 7 minutes before it crosses into the Arkansas state line. So yeah, we are tracking a storm that is sitting in, um, really Texas, but it's about to be Louisiana um, before it moves up into Arkansas. So I'm looking at the other circulation too, Blaze. It doesn't look like it looks as good as it did just a few minutes ago. Just put a short look on that.
Yeah, I'm thinking like a lot of the energy. I feel like a lot of the energy is like that bottom storm is stealing a lot of the top energy.
Yeah, I think the northern circulation is going to get cut off here, so I don't think it's going to hold together as it moves further up into Miller County. But nonetheless, let's take a look at it because yeah, it just doesn't look too impressive, does it? Near Bright Star, it's
No.
very weak. And actually, I don't even have a real good shear marker on that.
Yeah, no,
He
there's not
kind of fell
that.
apart as it moved into Arkansas. I would say certainly the most um, most significant one is going to be the one that's about to be near Sandra, and then Cap City, and then Doddridge. Doddridge is in the path of the storm, right along 49. So if you are waking up this morning, hopefully the Arkansas Weather Network app woke you up. Um, Blaze, I know I said I'd be up at 3, but hey, 4 o'clock, not too far off.
Hey, you're good. No worries.
Um, so that's there's Highway 1 that runs up into really actually doesn't cross into Arkansas. It goes from Louisiana into Texas. This thing's just about getting ready to cross that. We have a new scan of velocity, so I'll show that storm relative. Blaze, there's probably no guarantee that this thing is down. But let's take a look. I don't think that's a debris signature.
No, I don't think so because it may not be co-located.
Yeah, I think you're right.
It does catch attention. I ain't gonna lie. When I first saw that, I was like,
Yeah, it does.
but
Let's just circle this right here, and I'll show you why I think
I've
it's
got
not.
I've
So
got
there's
GR
that.
on another screen. Yeah.
I just don't think that's it. Let's bring that now. All right, and there's your storm relative velocity. Yeah, you see how the circulation is just a bit further towards the north. We don't think that's a debris signature. It's kind of a tough one to identify, but you look at that, Blaze, and you actually do have a little bit of an inflow notch from the Shreveport radar. Um, coming in from the south there. So we're
Yeah.
walking right in there.
Yeah, and that's something that like the National Weather Service, they were advising that they're going to go ahead and let the tornado warning go, the top storm, but then said, however, the southern storm still has a couplet with it, so they're going to continue with that. So that kind of eases the mind for anybody that's in that northern part storm. It is weakening, but I just I don't think they can let their guard down though, because that southern storm's getting its act together pretty quick.
Yeah. I want to bring up, I'm trying to remember where the power outages graphic lives on the left here. Actually, I think I saved it on something.
Yeah, I think we did buttons. Yeah.
There we go. Number. So I just got a question about what happened in Benton County, Blaze. You can speak a little bit more to that. There was a tornado warning for Benton County earlier, but I don't see any large number of power outages. What I do see though is storms are rapidly increasing across the west half of the state. And Blaze, it looks like it took darn near all night for this line to go from Oklahoma City to where it is now, which means it's going to take a long time to reach the Little Rock metro area. I mean, this thing has just been delayed, delayed, delayed. Um, but the good news is, a lot of it doesn't look organized. The most organized part of this in the entire state is what's down in southwest Arkansas. I expect the northern tornado warning to get canceled. It's the southern one that we're really concerned with as it gets ready to enter the state.
Right. Yeah, that's the thing. All of these storms have just been just taking their time. But to an extent, that helps because that's going to give us a lot of heavy rain. So that will help guys to help with the drought conditions. But it makes it really tricky, and the forecast gets really tricky too. So yeah, I mean this storm itself that we're tracking right now, it's still not even in Arkansas yet. I mean the couplet itself is out of Arkansas. Somebody saying Northwest Arkansas is starting to look bad. James, since you're on, I'm going to pull up and start watching radar on my computer in the
Yeah,
northern part. Just gonna keep an eye on that, so we can just split back and forth on that.
yeah. I'm going to try to answer questions from other parts of the state as well. Someone's asked, can I go to sleep in Little Rock? Yes, absolutely. What we have going in Little Rock right now, I'll show you real quick. It's just regular old thunderstorms back through Conway up towards Clinton and Blaze. I guess you'll check all these to see if there's any weak rotation in any of these.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep
Um,
an eye on that.
but a
I do
lot of this is
notice,
just regular storms.
right.
One
We've
second,
got we've
my
got a warning
daughter's
or
crying.
something.
I'll be right back.
Um, so what we're looking at, guys, not only do we have these tornado warning in southern Arkansas that does have some pretty strong rotation, but we're also watching across Arkansas as well. Um, we've got a couple alerts coming through right now, which would mean we may have some kind of a warning. Let's see what this is about, guys. Stand by for a minute.
Okay, I'm back.
We've got some special weather statements getting issued on these storms in northern Arkansas. So I am noticing that. I don't see anything. I don't see any signs of rotation with any of these storms, James, like from western Arkansas. So we're good from
Yeah,
that front.
I mean, you look at the shape of this storm right here, and that's probably the most interesting looking storm you could possibly have. It's got the look of the supercell, and it's getting ready to cross into Arkansas. So I'm going to call out a couple of streets here in far south Arkansas. At least somebody get ready to. I'm going to pull up the rotation so we can see exactly what we have here. So there's the weak rotation. It's getting ready to cross the state line. Cap City sits right there. And then off towards the northeast, you're eventually going to get to Kibla and Doddridge. So those couple of cities, just within the next 20 minutes, says it's moving at 40 miles per hour. I doubt it's moving that quickly. Blaze, we've got this other big tornado warning that's in effect for 12 more minutes, but I expect that warning to get canceled
Yeah,
because
yeah, they're
there's
they're going ahead and canceling it.
no, they're letting that one go.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might be able to hear the thunder here in Conway. It's raining pretty hard. That tornado warning is going to get canceled. It's the southern one that we're watching as it moves up into Arkansas. And again, I'll put a storm track on it for those of you that are just joining us this morning. This is just getting ready to cross into southeast Miller County, and it's going to take it right towards Doddridge here in the next 12 minutes. A black diamond at 434, and if it holds together, it could get up towards, it's probably not going to be as far north as Beck, but if you draw a center line, it could approach Louisville, as we get closer and closer to 5 a.m. But we'll have to see if it holds together.
Yeah,
Chelsea,
that's
I'm in Brooklyn. Are we okay to go to bed? Yes, Chelsea. I would go right back to sleep. Yeah, unless I'm in Miller or Lafayette County, I'd go back to sleep. The storms are still a long way removed from Jonesboro, and all the other storms in the state right now are not severe. Yell County asking what's going on in Bentonville. We'll go ahead and give you a quick update on what's happening in Northwest Arkansas. You've just got the big line of storms that's moving through, and it's moving slow, but it's all outflow dominant, and all that means is that tornadoes really can't be produced by this line. You notice that, Blaze? There's probably a nice shelf cloud coming in on that we're going to see across the state this morning.
yeah, because that's just right. Yeah, the thunder's pretty intense here too, James. I've got my stuff on UPSs, but in the event that power goes out or something, I don't. I'll just let you take over fully.
Yeah. Yeah, we're still tracking the area rotation. It's just getting ready to cross in. It's now crossed into Arkansas, actually. And so what I'll do is I'm going to add the shear marker there. You see, it's not quite as strong as it was just on the other side of the state line. A little bit of a weakening trend the last couple of scans. Hopefully that continues. I wouldn't say there's a tornado on the ground right now, but I would say it could be possible as it moves off towards the northeast. So this tornado warning is in effect, for about 9 more minutes. And I think, Blaze, if trends hold, this thing is going to hopefully continue to weaken. But tornado shelters, Doddridge, Black Diamond, Kibla, even if you're at Smithville, not a bad idea, just to make sure you're close in case this thing strengthens as we go through the next few minutes. It's not out of the realm of possibility that we see a couple more tornado warnings this morning. Blaze, it looks like the Storm Prediction Center, they don't even have a tornado risk for the rest of Arkansas today.
Do they not?
No, they dropped the 2%. So I would imagine we're going to see a pretty rapid decrease in the threat for tornadoes. And I'm just pulling up some of the data, looking at significant tornado parameter, and those numbers fall off pretty quickly once you get past 9 o'clock. So I think if there's going to be tornadoes, they're probably in this early window here with this activity moving out of southwest Arkansas.
Yeah, I think you're
And as
right.
soon as that line catches up, that is pretty much over.
Just heavy rain for a lot of people, which is good. I do notice they've got that severe thunderstorm warning though, for the line of thunderstorms in Oklahoma, and they've got special weather statements. So I mean, guys, it's not going to be the most peaceful line ever, but and something we were noticing also, James, is we got a lot of non-thunderstorm wind gust, like
Oh yeah,
30 to 40 miles per hour wind gusts as this front moves in, because people were talking about a lot of wind at their location, and I was like,
bring it up. Yeah, it's
yep.
windy out there. 30-mile-per-hour wind gusts at Texarkana, 26 in Hot Springs. So yeah, this is just outside of thunderstorms. It is windy. So good call. Yeah, I think over the course of the next few hours, this section right here is going to be what we're watching. These storms moving out of southeast Arkansas, I think they're in the best environment. Saw a question just a few minutes ago. If you're seeing storms that zap the energy, it does. You're a lot less likely um, to see tornadoes if you've been seeing heavy rain this deep into the night. So I would say go back to sleep everywhere that's not under the tornado warning. Just make sure you have those alerts set. Arkansas Weather Network app can do that because I'm just seeing a bunch. Can I go sleep here? Can I go sleep here? I saw Conway, Yell County,
Yeah,
Jonesboro,
yeah,
Bentonville.
we've been getting a lot of those. Can I sleep tonight?
Yeah, yeah. I'd go to sleep everywhere that's not far southeast Arkansas because you're just getting. I'll bring up the national radar here. Just kind of show you what we're dealing with, so you kind of get the full picture. Um, the line over here in western Arkansas is not going to have a tornado threat. It's just this activity down in southwest Arkansas does at the current time, but it won't continuously have that. So just a chance for a tornado or two over the next few hours. Blaze, I guess this tornado watch is in effect until mid morning or so.
Yeah, I think it's 8 a.m. I do believe.
Yeah, 8
I
8
wouldn't
9
be
a.m.
surprised.
No, 8 a.m. You're right.
I'm looking at this complex over in Oklahoma, starting to move into northwest Arkansas. It's looking pretty strong. I would not be surprised if this continued to increase, if they went ahead and issued like a severe thunderstorm warning, just for the general, just like the kind of the whole complex. You know how they do those really big severe
Yeah.
thunderstorm warnings?
Yeah, and also want to mention that the southern Miller County storm, the rotation looks a lot weaker as it approaches I-49. So, it's probably exactly what I expected. It's getting a lot weaker as it approaches I-49, and I'm betting they cancel this tornado warning here in 5 minutes. I'm betting we see them
Yeah,
both
I
drop.
think you're right.
So, yeah, let's go to let's go look at the western Arkansas storm. You got flash flood warnings in effect for Washington County, Carroll County. Those are from earlier storms, so it's safe to think that I think there's going to be more storms that occur.
Okay, James, they're thinking that the storm is cycling, and
Okay,
they said that they're planning to issue a downstream tornado warning
all right. Yeah, I
if
see
this
you're in the chat
continues.
room. So they got about 4 minutes to make the decision. I think the reason is because Blaze, this storm has really nothing to its south, kind of cutting off its warm air inflow.
Mm-hmm.
Right, it's the southernmost storm. It's actually merging with the northern storm. Doesn't really have anything to its south. So yeah, I see their point there. Kyle
And
says wondering
also,
Washita County and Dallas County. So right now, Washita and Dallas counties, there's nothing. This is just off towards the southwest. No guarantee that this holds together.
uh, James, I want you to look at. Let me know what you think near the Lincoln Prairie Grove area. This line that's moving through sure kind of looks like it's got an inflow notch on the line itself. It's the full line, and the hail threat's really intensifying too pretty rapidly.
Yeah, I just think that this is probably outflow dominant enough so that you're not going to be able to get inflow. And I'll explain what I mean by that because I don't want anyone to just get confused. You can see on radar there's just a little line right in front of the line. Um, you kind of see it right here. I'll trace it. Just a little bit of a line in front of the line. So what that is actually cooler air that's rushing out of the storm. And when that happens, you're not going to get air being pulled into the storm. And of course, to have a tornado, you've got to get warm air pulled in. So that's a good sign to me. Now,
We got a new tornado warning. But it's
all
just a
right.
continuation of that one.
Now, I will say that line looks very strong up in northwest Arkansas. There's the new warning box. Good call. Or there it was. There it is. And we'll talk about who is included in this. So you're getting alerts all the way from Garland. Louisville is not included in this. And then you got to go all the way down to Burton Mill and Canfield. And I'm about to pull up. Another a map that I have of this area. Here we go. So the circulation is still down into southeast Miller County, getting very close to Doddridge. So, this is south of Fuke, and Oak Grove Baptist Church sits right on I-49, just south of Doddridge. So we're kind of talking about that area. The Sulphur River and Red River kind of run parallel here off towards the east. That's the area that we're looking at. There's a zone here between looks like Doddridge and Pleasant Valley, where you kind of go into some wetlands, some farmlands. Highway 160 there runs off towards the east, and this is kind of where we're tracking that before it gets up into further into Lafayette County. Mountain View has a tornado watch. Do I need to stay up or go to sleep? I'd go to sleep. Everybody, I'd go right back to sleep so fast. With this, Amber asked, is Falk? I should know this. Fuke clear. Yes, Fuke is much further towards the north. So actually, they're in an old tornado warning, but this is tornado threat does not include Fuke. Amy Johnson says, "Will this miss Arkadelphia?" Falk. That's it. Thank you, Ashley.
Hey, I didn't know it either. I was calling it the same that you were calling it. So
Well, Barry Brandt one time told me what it was called and corrected me, and then I forgot. I have slept a few times since then. Falk, but now we remember. We will remember. Tornado hail risk the next few hours in Boonville, Logan County. I don't really think there's much of a hail risk with that line that's coming in. Small hail maybe. But the storm that's down, getting close now, this is getting very, very close to the Red River. So we're on the other side of I-49 now, on the other side of Doddridge and Fort Lynn. This is going to be well to the south of Falk. And there's a little bit of a pulse upwards, Blaze. See if our shear markers can identify it. Yeah, so we got a little bit of something there, getting close to the Red River. The Sulphur River is right here. This is what I'm talking about right here. And then here's the Red River. So we're kind of in between, and we're getting ready to cross into Lafayette County now. I'm getting a lot of questions on other parts of the state. We'll touch on those here in just a moment. I do want to point out where this is headed, though, as we go further into Lafayette County. I'm going to put a 35-mile-per-hour track on this. Eventually, this storm is going to end up near Stamps. Eventually, see Mount Shiloh. Stamps at 518. So it takes a little bit. 432. So it's not exactly moving very quickly. 30 miles per hour, 35 miles per hour. So it's going to take some time. We'll go back up to Fort Smith real quick. Everywhere else in the state, there's no severe weather. It's just regular storms. So all the questions we're getting from the other parts of the state, no life-threatening weather right now. Lisa asked, "Can I stay awake in Hot Springs?" I'd go right back to sleep. Just enjoy the thunder. Any chance of tornado in Conway? I'd say it's extremely low. I mean, this is a 1 out of 10 on the am I going to get a tornado scale? Needle in a haystack type of night. I guess we don't have any sunlight yet, Blaze. Kind of early, but I bet there's a real nice shelf cloud that's about to roll into Fayetteville.
Yeah, and there's probably a ton of lightning too with it.
Yeah. Just saw a question. Is the storm going to impact Arkadelphia or Hot Springs? No. The tornado warned storm that we're talking about, even if it held together, this thing, it's moving off towards the northeast. So it's not going to impact Arkadelphia, Hot Springs, Little Rock, none of that area. I mean, this is going to be south central Arkansas. It's kind of the lead storm. But again, the tornado threat today is extremely low. The Storm Prediction Center actually dropped their tornado threat from the state of Arkansas. So, this is a once we get past 8 a.m., I don't think we're going to see another tornado watch. What
Could
kind
you
of
hear
speeds
that, James?
ECW fiber? That's a great question, and they are a great sponsor of ours. They have a buried fiber network down through Magnolia and El Dorado. And I mean, Blaze, what do you get with fiber at your house?
Like speed wise?
Mm-hmm.
We have a dedicated gigabit, so 1,000 megabits per
Well,
second.
I bet they can do the same thing.
Oh, definitely. Can you
All
are
right.
you able to hear that thunder in the background?
No, I don't.
I mean, it is loud here. There was a strike just right outside the house. It literally, all my stuff flashed. Like it scared me just a second ago. So if I drop out, I'll come back when I can.
These are a lot of county roads here on the Red River. That's where the area of rotation that we're watching. This tornado warning is in effect for 45 more minutes. 45 more minutes. I don't think it's going to be. I don't think it's going to need to be in effect that long. But hey, if you're in western Lafayette County, north of Bradley or south of Louisville or Stamps, let's just go ahead and take those tornado precautions. Um, this probably stays elevated, but if this thing drops, you just want to be prepared. It's probably going to be brief. It looks very weak on radar from the Shreveport radar right now. But we don't want to take chances with these things. We've had tornadoes the last couple of days um, in both Oklahoma and a big tornado in Michigan yesterday that caused fatalities. So, don't want to mess around with it. Perhaps if you're just joining us and you're hearing thunder, the most recent tornado watch mentioned multiple strong tornadoes. Did something change? Yeah, so that was mainly for that evening window. And the further into this event we progress, the less likely tornadoes are. That's just kind of the name of the game this morning. There's not really, we're just losing ingredients for tornadoes. So we'll see a lot of regular storms, but there's nothing really concerning. Does Lincoln Prairie Grove need to worry about rotation? I would say no. You just got a big storm moving in, but there's no rotation along this line. Look at that, Blaze. There's probably some wind, but
Yeah,
no
there
rotation along
because
that
I'm
line.
looking at that. That's man, can you imagine though, like if this is putting down 50 miles per hour wind gust and then you got 30 additional that's non-thunderstorm. I mean, that's a lot of wind.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So if you're just joining us this morning, there's nothing that we're worried about right now, north or west of Little Rock. Just lots of regular storms. That's probably what we're going to be tracking this morning is regular storms. So it may not even be necessary, Blaze, that we're probably not going to be live all morning. We will break in and do cut-ins as needed. But right now we do have an active tornado warning, and it's getting ready. I mean, it already is into the circulation is really on the Red River. It's getting ready to cross into Lafayette County. It's really moving pretty slow. Just to kind of show you where that is, we're west of Bradley, and this is going to run up towards Louisville in Lafayette County. This tornado warning is in effect for 45 more minutes. Well, less than 45 minutes, but it expires at 5:15. So you've got Highway 160 that runs off towards the west of Bradley, towards Pleasant Valley. So that is this line right here. This is Highway 160. This is going to stay north of that, the circulation. I bet if somebody was in that area and it was daylight, you'd be able to see a wall cloud for sure. There's a Baptist church that sits on the road on Highway 360, which runs up towards the north, really gets very close to the Red River. Union Hill Baptist Church is what I have on this other map. Sits right in here. So that's exactly what I'm talking about if you know where that's headed. Just trying to respond to some questions. West Arkansas is supercells merged with the cold front line. The further into this we go, tornado. So Somerset, the tornado warnings for central drop. So there's no tornado warnings in central Arkansas. It's just tornado watch. So that's in effect until 8. But again, this is a needle in a haystack type night. You get 1, maybe 2 maximum. Just not expecting widespread severe weather. Needle in a haystack type of night. We'll go back real quick to the other areas of the state. Blaze, feel free to add your thoughts here, but wind for sure would be the main threat with this line as it moves southeast. I don't think that we're just going to be seeing a ton of severe weather reports with this, though.
No, I agree with that. I mean, I think we're losing our instability. I mean, now don't get me wrong. I mean, it's gonna storm, guys. It's gonna storm. So I
It's
don't
going to
want you to
rain.
be like, exactly. So, and lightning does not make a storm severe. Let's be clear on that. Um, so I'm just saying, like, don't be shocked if you hear rumbles of thunder, a lot of lightning and stuff. Um, that doesn't make anything severe. So, and I don't see anything. I agree with you. I'm looking at this on another radar screen. I don't see anything that indicates to me that I mean, at one point this line was getting stronger, but just looking at overall the reflectivity scans on it's weakening. This line is weakening. It's got less lightning now, and so I think a lot of this would have to do with that cold air, like you were saying, is cutting into this right now.
Hey, Rebecca made a good point. Yeah, if you would like and subscribe to our pages wherever you are watching, we would really appreciate it. We're relatively new. We are the Arkansas Weather Network. I did several years in TV in Central Arkansas at KTV. Love those guys. But now I'm out on my own. Blaze did a short stint in TV at KNWA, and you're a meteorologist, new degree as well. Zachary Hall, our other partner, he's getting some sleep. We do this in shifts. That's why we have a team. So we certainly appreciate all the support. We've tried to put together a really good product for you. What you're looking at right here is Futurecast. Blaze, it actually shows the line accelerating a little bit as it gets into Arkansas, which would be nice. You see, by later today, the rain is gone, but I mean, we're going to be dealing with rain for quite a bit of today. And I'm going to see if I'm going to drag this. So this model actually takes these storms down in southwest Arkansas, and you see them kind of out by themselves through 5, 6 a.m. We'll watch them as they go through south central Arkansas. I think this main line, though, does not have a tornado risk as it moves into Arkansas. So this is kind of extrapolated out towards 7, 8 a.m. You see the heavy rain continues. This is a statewide rainfall event. By 10, that line's through Little Rock, and then that line crashes southeast through the remainder of the morning into the afternoon. I do not expect a tornado event or anything like that, just a needle in a haystack type event. A lot of good rain, but as we get towards 1 and 2 o'clock, it's all gone, and we'll see clearing as we go into tonight and into tomorrow. So there's your storms. Lots of lightning, lots of storms. The storm that has been tagged with a tornado warning is down in southwest Arkansas, and Blaze, certainly getting some wind on those returns. The actual area of rotation, though, certainly looks a little bit weaker. And we may be able to visualize that a little bit better by looking at the shear markers. You see quite a bit
Yeah,
weaker just the last couple of scans.
it's falling apart. Um, NWS isn't saying anything about it, but I have a feeling if it continues to fall apart like this, the way it's looking right now, they'll go ahead and cancel that.
You know, Shreveport notoriously does not cancel tornado warnings. Just let it go. So that's talking about our friends at the National Weather Service in Shreveport. That's
Oh,
who's
we got
responsible
something.
for Lafayette County. So, you know, if you're in the western section of Lafayette County, it's still go ahead and remain in your tornado spot. You see that right there? That's a shear marker. Is that what you're talking about, Blaze?
Well, no, the National Weather Service says they're continuing the tornado warning. So,
Yeah. So the area of rotation that we're watching, it's still right over the Red River, and it's going to move into. I mean, we're on the far western sections of Lafayette County now. Lafayette County Road 5, Highway 360. There's another stream, Field Bayou, that's kind of running north south there, parallel Highway 29, all the way up to 82. Very slow moving. You know, it's not out of the realm of possibility you get a tornado to drop from this, but certainly, you know, I expect it to be brief. And I don't see anything right now. You know, well, it might be a little bit stronger. Blaze, you have another radar running, don't you?
I do. Yeah.
I, I'm. I don't think I see a debris signature or anything like that from the Shreveport radar.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's just noise. So no debris signature. You see all these streets out in here, out in the western sections of Lafayette County. I'll just call out a few of these. This is County Road 5 that's kind of running towards the south. So if you live along County Road 5, um, just do yourself a favor. Won't be for long. Just get in your tornado safe spot. Just make sure that you know you're removing the danger because you know even if it's a weak tornado, EF0, EF1, you know you don't want to be certainly don't want to be in a mobile home, and you know just get in a sturdy structure.
Yeah,
This
I'm
one,
looking at that and I agree with you. Looking at coalition coefficient, I will say it does look like overall the velocity, it's just a really bad radar scan, but
yeah,
I think it's getting stronger with what I'm seeing.
yeah. So you look at the sheer track from Southwest Arkansas, strengthened a little bit as it got over the Red River.
But see, that doesn't look all that bad. But when you look at the like storm relative velocity, you could see a little bit of rotation there, but there's just a lot of contamination too.
Yeah, I don't necessarily think that that is a true scan. You see, it kind of looks weird right there. I
Yeah.
think I think what we'd be seeing. So there's, I mean, you've got an inflow notch there. Man, this software is good. There's your inflow notch. Your wall cloud probably is going to be in this zone right here. So if anything drops, you know, we're looking along this line right here, western Lafayette County up towards Louisville.
Yeah, I'm just not seeing a CC drop on this. So that's
Ashley
good.
says,
That's good, guys.
I got questions from Northwest Arkansas, Springdale, Rogers, got hail up there. Um, Guys, nothing up there is severe. You know, the only severe storm in the state right now is down in southwest Arkansas. We're looking at a storm in Lafayette County. Real quick though, I'll do another overview of what we have. And look, there's the day one tornado threat, Blaze. There is no day one tornado threat. It's up northeast. they dropped our tornado risk. So we've got this big line of storms that's going to continue advancing towards the southeast. Um, and over the last hour, it's begun to pick up a little bit of speed. Uh, they're actually advancing at a pretty good rate now. Blaze covered quite a bit of ground in an hour. So that line of storms is going across the state today. All the storms elsewhere in the state have been not severe. So everything so far in the tornado watch area has not been severe. So that's great. So if you're in that area, I'd go back to sleep personally. Let us watch this. Set your alerts. That way, if there's a tornado warning, you wake up and you can seek shelter. But the only issue so far, Blaze, I think you had a tornado warning earlier for Benton County, and that's the only other warning we've had in the state tonight, right?
That's right. Hey, on this not the Texarkana storm, but in that general area, that tornado warning storm, if you look at the reflectivity on that, that thing is looking like a monster supercell developing.
Yeah. Yeah. See, that's the most impressive thing we've gotten in the state.
See that if that keeps up, that's going to be a big problem.
Yeah, let me sample the environment that it's in, and so maybe we can determine if there's a legitimate possibility it drops a tornado coming up. I mean, shear's pretty weak, but it's not impossible. You know, it's obviously there's a tornado warning in effect, but yeah, it looks a little bit stronger, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
I will tell you though.
Especially, I mean,
So
yeah.
I think we're seeing a little bit of contamination in this zone right here. Because watch when I pull up. See, that's not where that should be. It should be a little bit. Your rotation should be right there.
Right, right.
But still, there's rotation, and it's strong. So Western Lafayette County, yeah, a lot stronger right there. Look at that.
Whoa.
So I'm going to talk about kind of some of the roads that are in here. I've got it pulled up. Lafayette County Road, Lafayette County Road 5. It's not labeled here, but it's there, and it runs north south. Do yellow. It runs north south right through here. Lafayette County Road 5 is right there. So if you're along that road, I said it a few minutes ago, make sure that you're seeking shelter. Highway 29 is where this is eventually going to approach. We're moving off towards the northeast, remember. So anywhere between Crest City and the Red River, south of Louisville, make sure you're in your tornado safe spot. Misty asked, can I go back to sleep in Rogers? Yes, I would go back to sleep in Rogers. Bentonville too. Everywhere else outside of this tornado warned storm, you know, I'm one of those people. If there's not a threat for tornadoes, you know, if there's not a tornado in my area, I would just make sure those alerts are set and get some good rest. Now, there's not severe weather elsewhere, but we do have lots of storms across the state. So very quickly, I'll kind of give you an update on the line. You know, we've got that big line that just moved through Rogers, moving into Carroll County now. Fort Smith soon. Not expecting any tornadoes to come from that activity back towards the west. Not impossible for areas out towards the east, but I'd say it's very unlikely. I haven't looked at this other stuff for rotation Blaze, but I don't see anything concerning back into North Arkansas,
No.
back into Western Arkansas. The only storm that really has our attention from a tornadic standpoint is the one that's down in southwest Arkansas. You know, it's a nice, I say nice. It is a textbook looking supercell. Slow moving, guys. You know, Blaze, I joined you about an hour ago, and we have not covered that much ground.
No. It's it's moving very slow. I am looking at like mesoanalysis and shear information, and the upper level shear looks pretty strong. Surface shear doesn't look all that strong right now, so that's good. But there's plenty of instability. So I mean, the environment it's in right now, I mean, it looks like it's going to continue to stay strong. Now, I do think just what I'm thinking here and looking at, correct me if I'm wrong here, James, but there is less instability as you move east. And so as this progresses east, it should start to weaken some. Wouldn't you agree?
I think so. So what I'm doing right now, Blaze, I'm looking at an AI model that models the possibility of tornadoes from this, and it's actually its probabilities are going up, and they stay elevated as this thing moves off towards the northeast. And looking into the future here in the next hour, they spike off towards the northeast. So I think this storm could, just looking at the 1 hour model that I just looked at, I think this could be a problem to stamps. The storm continues to strengthen. So we'll look at the last hour. The storm continues to organize. I'm gonna turn the lightning data off for just a minute, just so we can get a clear picture on what's happening. The storm continues to strengthen. It's really turned into a textbook supercell. You see all the mergers have completed. And so now I think this thing could very well drop a tornado as we go through the next 30 minutes to 1 hour. So
Yeah.
tornado
And that's
warning
why you don't want to
continues.
ever let your guard down, guys.
Yeah. Tornado warning continues. I've been calling out Lafayette County Road 5 is kind of where this thing is getting close to now. It's going to come up on Highway 29 here very shortly. And then, Louisville, Stamps, I'd be willing to bet that we're going to get a new tornado warning here soon that includes those areas. Look at the newest storm relative velocity scan, and still pretty strong there. So, just to be safe, you want to be in your tornado safe spot. 29 comes south out of Louisville, and then the circulation is off towards the west. It's approaching 5 a.m. here, and it's dark still, so it'd be pretty difficult to actually see anything. But I'd imagine this would be one that actually is pretty visible. This probably has a wall cloud on it. There's our shear marker.
Yeah, I think so. That rotation looks really strong. I still
That's
still don't think that's
contamination. Yeah.
yeah.
Getting loud in Waldo now. Yeah, this thing's off towards your southwest, Austin. So if you're in Waldo, I would definitely pay attention to this. Definitely.
Still
Ashton
getting a
says
lot
not.
of people asking.
Yeah,
Oh,
go ahead.
just still seeing a lot of people asking, is it safe to go to bed? Is it safe to go to sleep? Guys, it is perfectly fine to go to sleep unless you're in the middle of this warning. But have a way of getting warnings. Set your phone up where it will alert you. So
Yeah, what we're looking at across the rest of the state is really just regular storms. So, as you're waking up, um, and looking at the radar, maybe you've got some thunder. Certainly understand the concern because it's springtime in Arkansas, but we're not really concerned. I think there's a low severe weather risk. The tornado warning that we have is down in Lafayette County, and Blaze, we just had somebody who gave us a super chat. I don't know if you saw that, and
I did not.
they asked for us. I missed it. Went through the chat. They asked us to look for something in Indiana. It looks like there's a line of storms up there as well, but not one that. And we appreciate that, but The severe threat this morning, I think, is very low. I don't want to just say like nothing's going to happen because we do have an active tornado warning, but for the most part, we have storms out there, and it's a needle in a haystack type of night where you have a storm or two that can get going, and I guess it's a needle in a haystack type of morning where you have a storm that gets going. We'll have to watch the storm that's off into Ralston. I saw someone comment from there earlier. I don't see any strong rotation with that. What you just
Hey,
saw is
is
kind of
that
embedded within the storm. And there's the new tornado warning. So it doesn't include Waldo. It
yeah.
goes very close to the city limits. Does include Stamps though. So the new tornado warning includes Louisville. It includes Stamps. And if you're in those locations, northern
Hey,
or
we're gonna have
central,
another tornado warning, James.
coming for.
That north storm that you were just talking about.
Okay. So that's the National Weather Service Shreveport, and they're going to issue for Ralston. So if you're in Ralston, go ahead and get to your tornado safe
Yep,
spot. Yeah, good call, Blaze.
there it is.
Just pointing it out. It's embedded. Oh yeah, that's a little bit stronger there on that last scan. So this is actually to the northeast of Ralston. Um, Dills Mills, which had a tornado very close to it on March 14th of this past year. Up towards Kale or south towards Kale, towards Morris. So I've got a more detailed map pulled up on my end. I'm just going to give you a couple of towns and cities here. So along Highway 24, Bluff City Nursery, Bluff City, all the way up to Prescott Raceway, which sits at the Highway 24 split up here. You just want to be in your tornado safe spot. So, tornado warning doesn't guarantee a tornado is going to happen, but we want to be safe. So, this is moving northeast. I'm going to put a storm track on this as it moves through the northeast section of. We have two tornado warned storms in southwest Arkansas. So this is Nevada County, and this is moving northeast at 40 miles per hour. So we'll put a track on that. Again, this is probably not going to hold together as it moves all the way up towards Sparkman, but we just to show you in the direction that it's headed. This will be near Bluff City at 5:13. So you've got 13 minutes, really about 15 to 20 minutes before this moves out into Nevada County. And that's where the tornado warning is right now. So we'll watch that. We'll come back to that. Two storms now that we're tracking, two tornado warned storms. And, Nevada County, Blaze, is in the Little Rock TV market. So I'd imagine we're about to have our friends in the Little Rock TV market live with that storm. Lots of great meteorologists in the state. So if you choose to watch us, we certainly appreciate it. Blaze, do you have Shreveport chat pulled up?
I do. Yep.
See what they're saying about the storm coming up on Louisville, because the rotation is getting stronger for sure, but I think there's probably some contamination there. I don't see a debris signature. The shear marker is pretty strong, but I think that is not as bad as it looks. If you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, they did just go ahead and update it. They are saying tornado damage threat considerable on that storm.
Okay, so they're probably thinking kind of like I'm saying, the chance that this thing um, continues to strengthen looks pretty good. So, Crest City up towards Louisville. The time is now to get your tornado safe spot up towards Buckner as well. Louisville, Stamps. I'm just going to go through a couple more street names and city names that are here in this Louisville Stamps area. Of course, between Louisville, Stamps, and Buckner, that's US 82. Down towards the south, you've got Highway 29. And if you're along Highway 29, make sure you're getting into a safe spot right now. There's Field Bayou is kind of what runs over here in this western section, because we're way past the Red River. The area of rotation that we're watching is right there, and we continue to move off towards the northeast. You have a road, a couple of unlabeled roads, Blaze. I don't even see I mean, I'm on Google Maps. I don't even see a labeled road north of County Road 18, um, which is between.
Hey, Jay,
Yeah, go ahead.
National Weather Service in Shreveport is advising that the lower circulation is now lined up almost directly over the reflectivity. Says if a tornado is not ongoing, one may be shortly. So they're getting pretty much certain that we're fixing to have a tornado on the ground.
Yeah, so this is coming up on Crest City, and the situation's getting a little bit more serious. I don't think we've had a tornado yet, but that now could change at any point. Looks like we're kind of the colors changed on velocity, but don't let that. Um, that's where we're watching right there. So they
The
were saying how
good
it
news
lined up. Yeah.
the the good news is that first storm, or I should say the northern storm, it doesn't look as strong rotation wise, but that second storm, it's really getting its act together.
Yeah, and I do want to talk about our friends in Nevada County. So, we have Bluff City, which sits over here towards the northeast, right there, and up towards the north of that, um, you have Reeder, and this is getting very close to. Really, it's just sitting on the other side of Kale, which sits right there. And this is Arkansas Highway 299. So that's what it's tracking along. Again, it's just strong rotation. We're going to continue to watch that, but the stronger storm of the two is now approaching Stamps and Louisville. So you have your tornado warning that's in effect, and that's going to be in effect for a while. National Weather Service in Shreveport telling us and telling you that if you're in that area, you need to get into a tornado safe spot. Pretty classic supercell this morning, especially for 5 o'clock in the morning. And Blaze, was this the one that produced the tornado in Texas earlier, or was it the other storm?
I believe it was this one.
Okay, yeah. So it has a history of producing tornadoes, and it may do so once again. Real quick, if you're in other parts of the state, we do not have any severe weather ongoing anywhere else. It's just regular rain and storms. The only threat for tornadoes this morning, even though there's a tornado watch out across a large part of Arkansas, it just got the feeling that the threat is very low, and we're mainly going to be watching these two storms down in southwest Arkansas. So, Blaze, we've got weak rotation still with the storm northeast of Ralston, and you see Bluff City sits there off towards the northeast. You've got highway. So we don't have that highway labeled, but you've got highway that city that sits along Dills Mills is Highway 299. So if you're along Highway 299 in Nevada County, just quickly get your tornado safe place. Hopefully that stays pretty weak. The more concerning warning is the one that's coming up on Louisville, Stamps, and Buckner, northern Lafayette County. This warning's in effect until 5:45. And we've looked at a couple of different products this morning. Still have pretty strong shear markers there on that storm. And, tornado or not, you're going to see heavy rain, maybe a little bit of hail also. Blaze, of course, still a lot of people asking about northwest Arkansas. The storms coming into the northwest part of the state are not severe. It's just a lot of just regular thunderstorms. So this is a good. We're not dealing with any severe weather. That line has picked up speed and continues to advance towards the east. That line does not have a tornado threat with it. So if you're asking about anywhere where these other storms are, they're just regular old springtime thunderstorms. We have quite a few viewers, Blaze. So if you're joining us from the Fort Smith area, because we're streaming live on Zachary Hall's Facebook page, he's taking a little bit of a break this morning. We certainly appreciate you joining us this morning. We're going to really probably focus in on these storms that have the tornado warnings down in southwest Arkansas, but that is your regional overview of what is occurring this morning. Main storms are down in the southwest part of the state. We got one warning in Nevada County that includes Bluff City, And although that warning probably has the weaker rotation of the two, we're going to keep a close eye on it. It's going to pass west of Chichester. And then the stronger rotation very clearly is what's approaching Louisville, Stamps, and Buckner. So if you're in those tornado warning areas, that is in northern Lafayette County, it's getting a little bit more serious. Make sure that you're getting into your tornado safe spot as well, because we don't want to have loss of life. The last 2 days, we've had 3 fatal tornadoes, and we do not want another one. So, weak tornado, strong tornado, doesn't matter. We want you to get into your tornado safe spot. Um, Gonna check the debris detector blaze, and I don't see anything from the
Yeah, I'm
Shreveport
not.
radar, but we
No,
do
I'm
have
not seeing anything either.
very strong rotation now is near Crest City. And there's a pretty strong shear marker, man. So that's probably the strongest rotation that we have seen um, over the course of the track in this storm. So I'm going to go ahead
Definitely.
and call out a few more roads that sit between Crest City and Stamps. Highway 313 runs south of Louisville, and that is what this is getting ready to cross over. So this is Highway 313 right here, and that is what this tornado is getting ready to cross. South of Stamps, you've got Highway 53. So if you are kind of in this zone between Highway 29, which is off towards the west, and then Highway 53, you've got Mars Hill Pentecostal Church that sits at the intersection of Highway 313 and Highway 53. That's just to the south of where this is. This is really getting ready to pass over. There's another, I think that's Bodcaw Creek is kind of sitting in between these two things. So that's where it's going to cross over as well. You also have Arkansas Highway 65, which runs to the southeast out of Louisville. So anywhere in those areas, we could be looking at a tornado that gets down here any minute if one is not already down already. And this is going to eventually cross over Highway 53 and probably will make it up to Highway 82 before we start to see things calm back down. So I'm getting into the Shreveport chat room since they are the ones that are issuing the tornado warnings. I've been in the Tulsa chat all night. Let's look at what Shreveport's got for us. Uh,
I was just gonna let you know, James. The National Weather Service in Little Rock is stating that they're still watching the cell in Nevada County, but they said it's showing weaker and broad rotation, which we see that. They said they do have a polygon ready to go, but low confidence on a warning at the moment. So it to me sounds like they probably won't be issuing an extended tornado warning.
yeah, you see on our rotation detector, there's actually, it's strengthened just a little bit and it has weakened. So we'll continue to watch that. But the strongest rotation in the state right now is coming up towards Stamps. We just got a new update. It continues to remain strong. And I've been calling out roads the last few minutes, Highway 313, Highway 53 in Lafayette County along Red Branch or Bodcaw Creek. Lafayette County Road 2 runs just to the south of Louisville and Stamps, and that is what is sitting right in here. County Road 2 is right here. And anywhere in this zone, again, we want you to take your tornado precautions. Hopefully it's nothing. It's what we really hope it is. I hope it's nothing, and we want to keep you calm. Tornado. This is 100% survivable if something does get down. Just make sure that you're in your tornado safe spot. A couple questions from the Fort Smith area, and any for everything else up in Northwest and West Central and Central Arkansas is not severe right now at this time. So that's great news. Not severe. I need to get my GR level 2 running on my computer. I can analyze this from a different radar. We got a person who says, I'm on 82 near Stamps. I don't know where to go. Um, I would go towards Blaze. Wouldn't you say it's probably best to go towards Jefferson? Just turn right around and hightail it towards Jefferson and Waldo. Let this thing get past you.
Yeah, definitely. So
We can't.
that's not a storm chaser?
No, I think they're just commenting. I can't tell you where to go. I don't know exactly where you are. The best thing to do probably would be to find a sturdy shelter that's close by. But if you just don't have a shelter, I think you still got a few minutes to get out of the path. So this is approaching Stamps now on the southwest side. We still have strong rotation off towards the southwest part of town. The highway that's running towards the south of Stamps, that is Highway 53. We have Highway 53. You see, there's a Stevens Loop. We're kind of going street by street here now. Magnolia Street, and I'll go ahead and take this as far back as exactly where the strong rotation is. You see a lot of timberland here, but there's the creek I was talking about. But this is approaching Stevens Loop, Highway 53, Hickory Street, Gum Street, Ash Street, all the way up into Stamps. You need to be in a tornado safe spot as this approaches from the southwest. Rotation, I'll put it back on there. It's still pretty strong in between Louisville and Stamps, just to the southwest of Stamps. If you're on US 82, it'd be a good idea to go get into a sturdy structure. So between Louisville, Stamps, and Buckner on US 82, get into a sturdy structure while we await this thing to cross over. So it looks like also, Blaze, there's hail in that line that's coming into western Arkansas. I don't imagine it's real big, but I bet that line is putting out some hail.
Yeah, I was noticing that one area like right around the Paris area was showing about 1 inch hail according to radar.
Yeah.
Subiaco over towards Boonville. See, I'm kind of checking other areas and stuff. We're just kind of flipping back and forth. Um, but I don't see any rotation. Nothing concerning on this line at all. Um, I
Yeah.
do think the winds may be increasing a little bit. But a lot of
Real
special weather
quick,
statements, but that's it.
I'm gonna talk about the storm moving through Nevada County. Um, Guys, fortunately, the rotation's so weak on this storm. I expect that tornado warning to get canceled.
Yeah.
We're still, we're just kind of locked in on the one tornado warning that we have. You see Hickory Street there. That's what this is approaching. You've got all the streets there on the south side of Stamps, Stevens Loop. Any potential tornado is going to be right there. All right, we got a new scan. So this is coming up right now into Stamps. Probably have some rotation between Louisville and Stamps. But we've been talking about it, for quite a while, getting close to 5:15 now, and we're able to pin down that rotation as of 5:15. Um, Blaze, I'm gonna call out some more roads on this. That's Lafayette County Road 2, off towards the southwest, and rotation's kind of broad, but that's County Road 2 right there. Hickory Street, Collins Street, Hope Street, and up towards US 82. Hopefully, you're in a safe spot. Excuse me. This is going to continue racing off towards the northeast racing. It's 30-mile-per-hour mover. So northeast Stamps, you're in the path. Hopefully, you're in a tornado warned, tornado safe place. That's an interior room. You don't want to be in a mobile home, which I know we have a lot of in this state. But just I'd say go to a neighbor's house. You don't. Hopefully, you don't have to travel a long distance. Your phones come equipped with software that'll alert you for tornado warnings, but the Arkansas Weather Network app will also do the same thing. So, Blaze, I'm going to put a storm track on this, put it backwards. 35 miles per hour. Eventually this is going to take it up into southeast Nevada County. Again, I don't think there's any guarantee that it holds together, but just kind of we're at Stamps right now with this thing. But if it continues, we're going off towards the northeast. Glendale, Davidson, Willisville, need to be keeping a close eye on this thing. Blaze, unfortunately, that's probably some of the stronger rotation that we have seen.
Yeah, that's right, James. And I saw a comment earlier about severe storms in western Arkansas. Guys, there is no active severe thunderstorm warnings across Arkansas. The only thing is these tornado warnings that we're tracking right now. So,
So there you see all the streets. We've got rotation. Rotation from the radar, it can be real wide. The actual tornado can be very, very small. But US 82, Low Avenue, Ellis Street, Chestnut Street, all these streets, not that you're all in the path, but you're in the vicinity of the rotation. So you want to make sure that you're in a safe spot just for the next few minutes as this thing moves off towards the northeast. We're talking about Stamps if you're just joining us in Lafayette County. And certainly don't want to see a tornado drop, but if it does, you want to make sure that you are in a tornado safe spot. I think we've got several of you watching from Lafayette County. We want to hear from you. Hopefully, you're in your tornado safe spot, and there you should remain until this thing passes you. It's not going to take long. So, all right, we're getting off now towards the north side of Stamps, crossed over 82. And then again, Blaze, we're getting further and further away from the radar. So, you've got this broad area just to the north of Stamps. Actual
yeah, I
tornado will be
wonder if Little Rock
much smaller.
is Little. Do you think we're getting a better read from Little Rock?
I don't think so. We can look at it. See, the storm that's in Nevada County getting almost nothing on that, but at least from Little Rock, you're still getting very strong wind and velocity return, which makes me think that this thing is very capable of producing a tornado. There it is from the Shreveport radar. So we're in
Yeah.
northern Lafayette County now. We're coming up on Shiloh. Eventually, you're going to be coming up on Falcon in southeast Nevada County. Do want to do a regional overview real quick while we're watching that storm. That's the strongest storm in the state, Blaze. But as you look at what we're watching across the state, just a lot of rain, a lot of storms. It's going to be a stormy morning for us across the state. The tornado threat, I think, is very limited across the rest of the state. Raining sideways in
Yeah,
the Waldo area.
it's not zero, but it's low. And but as always, we're going to be here to keep you updated. I'm hoping, James, that this storm starts to die down.
Yeah, and you see the storm that's going through Nevada County. It's really weakened. I don't expect the Weather Service to continue that, and the actually expect that possibly the Weather Service in Shreveport could let that warning go. We still have strong rotation now. It's in northeast Lafayette County. So Stamps, the tornado threat. I'm ready to give you an all clear. Louisville, all clear. It may be raining, but the tornado has moved. The possible tornado has moved off toward, towards the northeast. So this is now getting very close to Shiloh, and a couple of these streets in this area. I can't get them to populate. A couple of the streets in that area, I'm going to tell you what they are. That's going to be Lafayette County Road 27, Lafayette County Road 35, Lafayette County Road 34. So if you're in those locations, hopefully you've been in a safe spot, but I'm just calling out areas that are in the vicinity. So this is north of Stamps now, north of 82. How about Dardanelle? Just rain and regular storms up towards the northeast, everybody. Just a nice